This is an inversion. This world is all an inversion. Welcome, I am Anka Lavinia, and I'm bringing the truth that is hard to swallow and that not most are able to digest yet. But if you're one of the truth seekers in my tribe, one of the people that have a flame burning in their hearts for the truth, for God, for light, one of the people that is being called to anchor a soul mission and live in alignment with their soul path and God, then welcome. If you're stumbling on this video and you feel that this is not resonating, it's too much, it's too weird, please move on. No problem. If you resonate, if this is something that sparks something in you, if this is the seed or the confirmation or that thing that you needed, please leave it in the comments, subscribe to the channel and support the truth. Share this with a friend. It took me a long time to make such a video because I myself have been running on a lot of inverted programming, on a lot of wounds, on a lot of distortions that I've been made aware of a long time as I walked this path. And if you don't know anything about me, I've been walking the path of remembering who I am since about 2012 officially, let's say, but longer than that, as I've been a client in psychotherapy in my 20s and I've began my inner search back then. So I don't even know, around 2009 actually. In all of these years, during all of these years, I've walked, let's say, different segments and stages of what people call awakening and spiritual awakening. And the most truthful awakening and phase of my life is the one that I'm going through right now, is the one that I've been going through since 2024, is the one that I'm still navigating. So I'm coming here before you as a raw person, as a vulnerable person, as someone that is humanly going through it all the same way that you are, sharing from my own understandings, from my own path, from my own revelations and experiences with everything. I am a carrier of the frequency of truth. This is very important for me. And I'm usually bringing that type of truth that is very uncomfortable for most people, like the one that I opened this video with. This is an inversion. We are living in an inverted world. This planet has been hijacked, has been put some overlays over it by nefarious beings, how some like to call them. They're actually out of this planet beings, fallen gods, goddesses, fallen extraterrestrials even, that have been playing a very, very rough game, is what comes to mind, to enslave humanity, to use humanity for their own survival as batteries. I've been mentioning about this before in my previous videos too. What I'm noticing, and why I'm doing this video right now, is because I observe this heightened inversion fields that are running and being very, very active right now on Earth. Just the other day, or like a week ago, I don't even know, I wrote a comment, and this is my personal experience. I wrote a comment on one of the posts that was announcing rock type event in Romania, where I'm living and am from. This event carries a lot of darkness in it, a lot of dark coding and architecture in it. I know it, I've sensed it. I've been in that world for a long time. This is also something that you might not know about me, but I've been an active member of the rock community, like the hard rock, the metal community, the heavy rock, all of the darkest architectures possible. I'm not condemning everyone, I'm not anyone, and I'm not saying that people in this community are bad or evil people. I've been one of those. And I was a very good person, like most of the people in this community too. But I was living not in my true light self back then. I was driven by, manipulated by, controlled by these dark forces in that specific egregore and more. So as I was saying, I left a comment on a post announcing this type of event, and the comment was actually a little, very short prayer to God to work His light, to do whatever it's needed to be done for the architecture, the light architecture, organic architecture of God to be restored on earth, and the darkness to be dispelled and people to be awakened so they can see the truth. I cannot begin to tell you that I've received tens and hundreds of comments. Of course, I didn't read them all. I didn't like stay hooked on that. I just dropped the truth, the seed, what I was prompted to drop in there, and then I left. But I saw like days to come that there were a lot of comments coming in, and just once or twice I clicked to see if there was actually something I needed to answer to reply to. And there were, all of the comments were mocking comments, were laughing at this prayer, actually laughing at me directly. And one of them just stuck with me because that's when I realized how strong the inversion is, how strong the programming is actually. And it said something along the lines, oh my God, boo-hoo, Satan has gotten into you. It seems like he's gotten into you. I'm paraphrasing. So that was the moment where at one point I smiled, and then I just realized like, oh my God, this is like the prophecy, you know, all the light is going to be labeled and seen as darkness, and the darkness is going to be labeled and seen as light. This is what happens. And I've been persecuted and mocked and discredited, laughed at my entire life along the spiritual path. And I've seen true light being persecuted and mocked and, you know, discredited and targeted and all of that. Meanwhile, the ones that are functioning, totally functioning in the matrix architecture, in the false fallen architecture of this earth, is being recognized as light. The ones that are being controlled and manipulated by the dark forces that engineered the false architecture, the fallen world, they are seen as being light. They are being admired. They are being put on pedestals. People buy tickets to their events, shows, offers, whatever. And let me tell you that the spiritual community is part of this. There's a lot of dark stuff going on. So if you take a deeper look, what I'm inviting you to actually do is take a deeper look around you and in this world and how things are, how things function. You'll be able to see by yourself. And maybe you want to ask God to show you the truth and invite God deeper into your life. And let me tell you one thing. When the programming is very, very powerful within, because the architecture, the false matrix, all of it, it is first to be collapsed within us personally. So this is not about blaming or pointing fingers or like they're to blame or fighting anyone. It is first recognizing, the faults, the architecture, the inversions, the wounding, the ego, all of that within ourselves. And one of the toughest things that I had to do, or that I wanted to do, and I did it, but it was hard, was to invite Christ in my heart, in my life. That was so hard. That was the moment that I experienced the most challenging and tough dark attack ever. People and humanity has been separated and brought astray from God and from Christ. A lot of people talking about God and Christ that are real, that are true, are being discredited, mocked, laughed at, persecuted. A lot of people that are the false light, talking about the false Christ, are being revered, admired, seen as gurus and teachers and masters and all of that. You do the research and you trust yourself. And what I do is always ask God to show me the truth. What I am noticing, I was even like watching a series the other day, and I was telling, or not a series, I think it was a movie, and I was telling my husband, joking, but not a joke, if you want to like write about the inversions on Earth, this is the movie to watch. Maybe I'll even post about it. If you want like an inventory of everything that's inverted, distorted, going wrong on Earth, watch this movie. I'm gonna leave it in the description. And that is just like the surface level distortions and inversions, because there are much darker things that go under the surface that you don't see people talk about. Everything in this world is actually in reverse. And this is a feeling that I've been having all my life. That's why I never felt like I'm in the right world, or like I fit in, or like I understand what's going on. I never understood why the world is like it is. I never understood why people kill each other, why there's war, why do we not care about Earth, why we treat animals with such cruelty, why we keep repeating the greedy, power-hungry, patterns, and why everything is so bad. That was something that I was always not getting. Because my memory, my soul memory, is not this. My soul memory is of the true organic world of God. Some call it the Garden of Eden, some call it New Earth, some call it whatever you want to call it. For me, it is a soul remembrance, and a lot of us carry that soul remembrance. It's just that we don't believe it, we don't trust it, because we have been so deeply conditioned to play this distorted game and to think this is the reality and the truth. And we've renounced ourselves and abandoned ourselves along the way to actually fit in the distortion. Myself included, of course. I've been trying to demonstrate my entire life that I am valid enough, that I'm successful enough, that I'm good enough, that I'm wise enough, to who or in what type of world? To people that are actually living in the matrix, in the distortion, trying to actually demonstrate something that is an illusion and a distortion. Yeah. If this is resonating, making any sense for you, let me know in the comments. So actually my soul remembrance is of God's organic world, where we are living a transparent, honest life as humanity, where there is no need for prisons, for governments, for politics. There's no need for the law the way that we see it right now, for punishment, because there is no war, no killing, no greed, no persecution, no trafficking, no lies, no manipulation, no cruelty. That is the true organic world that we remember deep down. That's why we feel this is not right. What's going on right now in the world is not right. This is weird. This is not how it's supposed to be. The level of greed, the level of, and now like, I don't even know if it's from 2020 or even, it has always been going on and happening, but for a few years now, the control tactics, the fear tactics, the distortion, the pitting people one against the other, all that is going on is so obvious, so that we are more and more controlled, enslaved. You have the remembrance of what the truth is. And now more than ever, it is time for you to trust that deep soul remembrance, to take responsibility for your own light mission, gifts, for who you truly are, to be the light, the truth, the integrity, the honesty, the gentleness that you're here to be, that is in your structure, that you truly are, to let go and clear all the lies from your inner architecture, to work through the wounding, to clear the shame, the fear, the guilt, all of that, to do the shadow work. That's needed, that's necessary. That's one of the traps of the, I don't know how to call it, the modern spiritual world, the spirituality out there that you see. All about ascension, all about Zen, all about feeling love and light, all about positivity. When actually, if you do not do the work at the root cause, if you don't go into the trauma, into the wounding, if you do not face the truth that you avoid, if you do not go through everything that you need to go through within you to clear the space, to clear the field, there is no way you will be able to remember the truth, to anchor the light, to be who you came here to be, to live an authentic, sovereign life. I thought I was authentic. I thought I was sovereign. I thought. But then another layer and another layer came and humbled me. Another ego death had to happen. Another stop and void in my life had to happen. So I go deeper and deeper, and I truly face the truth and truly see the space I was in and truly be able to see the programming, the depth of programming and control I was under. Because this is not only about the inner child or the transgenerational. This is ancestral, deep programming. This is overlays and binds and implants and energetic distortion and all of these things that people usually label as you're nuts. Let's not focus on the darkness. Let's not focus on that, because that will bring more of that bullshit. If you do not see the cage you're in, if you do not see the inversions, the distortions you're operating in, then there's no way you can free yourself. And you can look at the darkness and distortions and name them from a place of neutrality, from a place of presence, ease, light, with God in your heart, that is not amplifying it. That is just naming it for what it is. And that is another trap and another very wise modality and mechanism and tool that the darkness is using. They are using. Do not name me. Do not look at me. Do not see me. Do not believe I'm real. So that they can keep working in your field. They can keep doing their thing, controlling you, working through you, manipulating you, keeping you trapped. The inversions are at their highest. One of the questions that I always ask myself in an ironic or funny way, or take it as funny, not funny. Why is it that in every movie, in every film, in everything we see, people drink alcohol all the time, constantly? Why are they doing that constantly? What is the message? What is the subtle programming they are doing there with that? And all of it, not only that, that's very, very basic example. All of the sexuality, the distortion they are presenting you with in all the movies, everywhere. Reality shows, TV shows, all of the streaming platforms, all of it is inverted. All of it is programming you that that is reality, that is normalcy, that is the truth, that is what you also want. So you begin to compare yourself. So you begin to go into shame, into guilt, into comparison, into self-criticism, into, oh my God, look what they have and I don't. Oh my God, I want to have that. Or you just find yourself going and buying a bottle of I don't know what and chugging it down just because subconsciously that was programmed into you. You don't even know why you're doing that. Stay with your eyes open and rooted in your heart. Just place a hand on your heart, as basic as it sounds. Do it. Actually do it. And take deep breaths into the heart space. Here, where your hand is. Feel the hand. Come into presence. Come into the here and now. God, please reveal me the truth that I was not able to see until now, that I'm ready to see now. Please help me see the lies and the distortions that I've been living and feeding until now. I'm inviting you deeper into my heart, into my mind, into my body, into my life. I don't want to live a life that is not with you, that is not led by you. And this has nothing to do with being religious, nothing to do with that. If that's your preference, fine, but I'm not operating in that system. Allow yourself to see the truth, even if it hurts. Even if it's unbelievable, even if it's I've had to go the past year through moments, different moments, multiple moments of, oh my God, this can't be true. Or not even this can be true, because I have this thing about me where everything can be true, but in the same time, that mind-blowing moment when you hear something and it's oh, that's too much. That can't be. That's too much. It's that part of you trying to convince you that's too much. For example, with the moon, people still have trouble believing that the moon is an artificial body that is distorted, an artificial field, energetic field that is distorted. First, when I heard that, when I came across that truth, I was that cannot be true. That's too much. We usually do that. Allow yourself to sit a little bit with whatever truth you hear, and it feels like, oh my God, that's no, that can't be. What if that is the truth, actually? If you do not face what is uncomfortable and not sit and go through the uncomfortable, then there's no way you can free yourself from the illusion, from this distortion, from the control. No, it is not easy breezy. It is not yoga, meditation, plant medicine, whatever, and that's it. No, that's not it. Those are things that can help, but they are not doing anything for you, actually, deeply, if you're not willing to sit with the truth, with your inner shame, with your inner guilt, with your self-criticism, with that wounding that you're avoiding and not recognizing from your childhood, with all of the distortions, with all of the moments where you betray yourself, with all of the moments where you lie to yourself and others and say, it's not that important, with all of the lack of integrity, with all of that, I don't know, sacrificing and deeper and deeper and deeper truth, with all of those choices that you make from ego, chasing something that is an illusion, just because you're scared, just because you live in fear, with all of that fear, underlying fear that drives your entire life. If you do not look at that, face that, process that, be with that, clear that, meanwhile calling God every day, praying more, spending time in silence, truly hearing yourself, nothing will change. I do not hold the final truth. I'm not a healed person. I'm just walking the path as you are, as I said in the beginning of this video too. This is something I truly know because I've seen it work in my life. And I've been lately being humbled a lot, shown that I've been also functioning from a lot of ego, without realizing it, of course. It was never my intention to harm people, and I think a lot of people, they don't have this intention of harming anyone. It's not that they're bad people, but the conditioning, the inversions, the control, the deep architecture in the energetic field, in the mental field, those are so refined, and those are in place and active for so long, not from this lifetime, generations and generations before you, those are in place. So it is not anyone's fault that they're controlled and like they function from these places of distortion. But you need to be willing to see them, to sit where it is uncomfortable to sit, not avoid, not bypass, not lie to yourself. And if you are resonating and feeling that you need support on this path, send me a message, write a comment, let me know. If you feel like I'm the one that can guide you, support you further in this process of remembering, of clearing, of reclaiming your true organic soul path. There's more to come. There's more videos I will do. There's more truth I'm going to be revealing that I didn't have the courage to speak about before, because I was functioning in fear, in doubting myself, in disbelief, in belittling myself, in all of these, as I said, inverted, distorted programs. Thank you for being here, for watching. Thank you for following your heart and your truth. See in the description the program that I'm inviting you to join starting December 12th till December 21st. If you're seeing this later after it is done, then I can still guide you, or I can give you access to the program. Hold Your Light is the title of it. Hold Your Light is the message for you. Anchor the light, be the light. And that is not just spiritual talk. That is a deep calling. Feel it in your body. See you very, very soon.